Welcome everybody to episode 2 of Talk of the Rift. This is a podcast, all things about League of Legends from current state of the meta, upcoming changes, and professional play. I am your host, Logan. Joining me is Eli.
Hello.
And Koobs.
Good.
At the end of the show, we do a live Q&A, so if you want to submit your questions, you can tweet them to us at Talk of the Rift or post them in the Twitch chat. If you're listening to us on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're on Twitch, give us a follow so you know when we are live. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. Can't complain.
Yeah, same here. Can't complain.
Today, I'm
doing?
doing good. I'm doing really good.
Awesome.
Today we've got a number of things to talk about. We got League of Legends news. We've got account creation confusion with Riot Games. We've got Clash finally coming live, which is awesome. And we've got LCS roster, LCS off-season roster changes, as well as different talks on Summoner's Rift with Senna, Philios, Diana, preseason, how we feel about it, all those good things. So, but for starters, I guess the account confusion stuff that has been going around. Riot made everybody change their usernames.
Yeah.
So this was a little confusing because it was pretty much only, not pretty much, it was only if you had username in multiple regions. I don't remember if it mattered across your main account in PvE. But I know if
that was another one.
That was another one? Okay.
Yeah.
But if at any point you used your username to make like a PvE account or an EU account or any other region, it would sense that there was a duplicate and say this name already exists, and it would make you change your name. You can still go in, and I think you have to open a support ticket to change your summoner name, and then I don't know what all the steps are. I'm just not going to go through with it because it's not it's not the name that everyone sees in game. It's the one you're using to log in. So I don't know that it matters overly much. But like the day it happened, I think I saw maybe 15 or 20 people say, I can't believe somebody took this and this many variations. And I don't know if they were trolling or not, but I was confused for about 18 hours.
Yeah.
I ended up.
For me, it's just like, just trying to log in. I don't have to. I keep like, I don't have to type in, what it was before, and then having to erase it to do the new one. It's like muscle memory at this point. It's like, I get used to it, but it's annoying.
Just click the box that says stay logged in. Never have to worry about it again. Big brain moves.
That's true.
That doesn't work for me.
Oh, really?
No, it never keeps me logged in. It always gets rid of my username and my password and stuff. I always have to type.
Oh, that sounds awful.
It's really annoying.
That could be with me then, because I feel like I would have clicked that box otherwise, but maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. We'll see.
All things are possible.
Try it out. There's so many infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I ended up changing mine to match like other games that I play and stuff like that. But I haven't logged into my Smurf yet, so I haven't had to change that one yet. But
yeah, I have like a text document on my that says new Riot, like in case I forget it.
Yeah.
Because I had to try a couple things.
Well, the thing is that my summoner name and my username don't match anymore. So it's not like I'm logging in and mine did right away when it was Agent York 69, back in the day, 20 freaking names ago. But and now I just take out numbers and whatever, but it works out for me.
But I think my first Xbox Live gamer tag is what I used for my username because I didn't when I made the account I didn't know the difference between the name you're using to log in and then the name everyone else sees. So I used that, and then it was like, okay, now use a different name for your actual name in game. And I was like,
yeah, that throws me off when they do that.
Yeah,
it's like that's the name I wanted in game.
Right. I mean, I guess you could have still done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
In other League of Legends news, we have Clash maybe finally coming out and releasing after. Let's see if it took till this spring. It'd be 2 years after 2 years of not coming out.
Yeah.
You guys ready to play?
I'm hyped for it, but not as hyped as I was 2 years ago.
It was It was so hypey 2 years ago.
Oh my god, I was so ready 2 years ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll be pretty sweet, but nothing to what it was back then.
So I don't actually know the difference. They've they've run Clash before, but is it different now that it's officially quote unquote out, or is it just they're running Clash on the live servers again? Because before the last, at
They're
least one,
just
if not two, were on the PBE.
They're just saying it's more stable now.
yeah.
Pretty sure. So like they're having like problems with like games starting or never.
There were too
ending,
many
or, like,
games
somewhere-
starting at
yeah.
one time, and it caused overload in their servers, and like the servers would just crash. So now the way it works is like they all the matches like start at the exact same time. Well, like they like go into lobby at the same time, but like they space them out over the course of like X amount of minutes, like minute 1, 2, 3, for instance. So it breaks it up into thirds for starting them, and then it worked out. Like I don't know if like X amount of people are still like super excited to play Clash, like in general. But at the time when everybody was like really hyped, there were just so many people trying to play that it just totally screwed everything over. And like the last test they did was EU West or whatever. Is that the big one? Yeah, and that one was successful, which means they're pretty much all,
Good to go.
all good to go. So like if the live test goes well, I think it's the beginning of the spring or beginning of the year, so like January, February, where they can actually release it.
No, I haven't paid. Do you have a statement? I have a question.
I was just gonna say that it's always big news when something in EU West goes well. So
Yeah, true. They always seem to get the short end of the stick.
yeah,
But my question is, because I haven't paid all that much attention to the Clash part of it, just like hearing things here and there. Do you know how frequent they're like planning on doing it when it comes live? Like, is it like a once a month thing? Have they said anything about that?
I don't think they've ever stated like what the
I don't think they
actual
have
length of
either.
time. I think it's just event based. Like they'll just do it like
whenever
once
they
a
feel
month
like
or
it.
once every 2 months. Yeah, like they'll just. It won't be like every weekend. It'll be like every other weekend, every 3 weekends or something like that. Because I know they specifically say it's not a daily thing and it's not a weekly thing. Because they want it to be a tournament like event rather than just like something you can always do. Which makes sense
hoping,
because
like,
like you can
it
right
does.
if it's something you can always do, then it just becomes flex queue. Like it's got to be something that you like get your friends together and you plan for and you play, and it like feels good when you win because like you don't get to do it all the time.
Yeah, I kind of hope twice a month, like 2 weekends a month, just because like
As long as
you
I line
can't
up
get
with my
friends
work
together.
schedule.
Yeah. Well, that's why though, right? Because if you like almost like one you can't make it, and you're like, at least get a chance at it again,
Yeah,
Right.
that's
like
true.
sometime soon instead of having to wait a whole like another month.
Like assuming they did it once every. Let's just say they did it once a month. You're not gonna take time off work to go play Clash. It's not that special, but it's special enough that when you find out you have to work that day, you're just like, that really sucks because now I don't get to participate in the fun thing. I guess I'm gonna watch a stream.
2 years ago it would have been that special.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know. You better give it more frequent, Riot.
Yeah, Riot Games, if that's her real name.
Yeah, if that's what you go by these days.
It's like me, for instance. I know because like they're doing it this week and they're doing it next week. So like I can play this week, but next week, like, I guess conveniently my schedule might work out to play, but like I probably won't be able to. So hopefully when they do it like the first and second week of the month, and then at least keep it consistent. Not like the first and the third or the second and the fourth, but like something like that. It'd be nice for me at least. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I love anything tournament style. Like throw it back in the day, like just making like playing Super Smash Bros. Melee, just like doing a tournament of 64 and just spamming games with some like friends against.
Well, I miss like
computers.
I miss like what was it, team ranked? I mean it was bad, but the matching was bad, but like that was fun. Like like we were all in college together, and we would all, like at the beginning of the day, everyone starts texting each other, messaging like, "Oh, we want to do rank 5s." It's like, yeah, let's do it. And all day you're texting about comps, and then you get on, you play. Then you got killed because of the crappy match system, and you'd play all diamonds, and we were silver and bad, and it was just like, oh god. But it was fun though, because like the games that you did win, it was a struggle. But,
plus, it was always just satisfying to see your little team name pop up, not like a club name, like an actual team name pop up, and it shows like that was really really cool. Rocket League does a thing where if you're all in the same club in Rocket League, like your entire team is, and the other team is also all in their own same club. It'll do a little like 5 second blip where it pans the ball and introduces both teams, and it feels really really cool. And it's just
Yeah.
that extra level of satisfaction you don't get out of like just playing a normal game.
It's like,
Right.
oh, it's team versus team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it's 5v5. Pressure's on. Who's the better? Who's the better club?
Right.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We can dream.
We can dream. Well, on to some LCS offseason changes stuff. We haven't done any pro scene talks yet, but seeing as all the rosters have basically either been announced or have been broken by Jacob Wolf, so we know at least what they are all going to be. It's just some first impressions that we can go through. Obviously, if you're listening on YouTube, you don't have a picture of anything up to look at for the rosters. I've got it up here, so we'll kind of go through everything. But if you want to pull it up on your deal, would probably be helpful to follow along.
Yeah.
We were looking at them beforehand. Is there anything that pops out to you guys like right away where you're like, oh my gosh, like that's a great roster, that's a terrible roster, good moves, bad moves?
I don't know about good moves, bad moves, but Dignitas they're so much. They look completely different than they did last season.
Oh yeah,
Aesthetically,
minus the expensive player of Hooney
Yes.
of $2.3 million.
listen,
2 years.
Listen, top laners
That's
getting
so
paid
questionable.
is what we're here about. Okay,
It's so questionable.
Hooney has a world championship, right, with SKT?
Nope,
Nope.
they lost that year.
That's
Yeah.
They made it to finals, but they lost. They lost to Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, so they're paying for the world finalist tag on the team.
True. That's there's
They're
something
not getting
about
that with Afromu.
Well, they do have Froggen too, so I mean, not that he's a world finalist, but that guy has done nothing in forever.
Froggen's a stud.
I mean, Froggen is a stud. What happens when you put Froggen and Hooney on the same team, though?
Then Rumble and
That's-
Anivia get banned.
This is like the questions here. Like, I'm genuinely curious as to like how this team functions. Like having, like literally those two powerhouse players. I don't know. Like, I don't think it could like possibly work.
Well, and Afromu's on the team, and he's not necessarily like the super big name, but he is an all-star, and everybody knows who Afromu is if you
Right.
follow the pro scene at all.
This is kind of his redemption year. He had a real bad year.
Afromu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had a terrible year.
This is like. Oh, who's who I'm thinking of? Who's that Dolphins quarterback that now plays for the Titans?
Fitzpatrick?
No.
Plays for the Titans.
Tannehill.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like Tannehill. It's like Ryan Tannehill. He's on the Dolphins. He's not doing so hot. Now he's going to a new team, a new system around him, new players, and now he's kind of lighting it up. And that could be, that's kind of the same thing that Afro was kind of looking at here. Maybe he can kind of show with the new team that he's.
That's American football for anybody that doesn't follow the.
For all of our
sports.
European followers.
Yes.
So you're saying the 100 Thieves is a bad org, and now that Afromu is on Dignitas, he will thrive and get his comeback.
Well, I wasn't taking the analogy that far, but I mean,
100
the
Thieves
shoe
as an
fits.
organization is fine. 100 Thieves as an LCS organization is maybe not the best.
Well, speaking of 100 Thieves organization for League of Legends, they got Meteos and Cody Sun back, which is the reason why most people would say they're probably not a great LCS organization. The first year that they're in the split, they have Meteos and Cody Sun. They go to finals. Then the very first split ever, which was awesome. Immediately following that split, they can Meteos, they can Cody Sun shortly after, and they get these crappy players. They bench someday. They have a god awful season.
You bench someday and you pick up amazing.
Papa Dank Smithy comes in, gets Meteos back, gets Cody Sun back immediately, and puts Someday back in the lineup. So I think we're on a good footing here for the 100 Thieves to go back. Not to maybe get to the finals, but maybe not finish last place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that'll be interesting. I don't know, like I feel like Meteos kind of gets disrespected all the time. Like
Yeah.
he's always on a winning team. Like no matter like you can say whatever he wants about his play, he's like always on a winning team. And
Was he the one that played Lee Sin at Worlds and everyone said that he was doing poorly?
Yeah.
And then like they did the breakdown of his macro play and he was actually like the best Lee Sin player at Worlds.
No, it was the meme. It was against Flash Wolves when he was on
With the
C9.
60-minute game.
It was a
Oh,
60-minute
yeah,
game,
yeah,
and the joke
Yeah.
is that Meteos was like learning how to play Lee Sin throughout the whole game because like
For
he
50
started
minutes.
like atrocious, but
Yeah.
but they won the
He did,
game
like, the
because he
game-winning
like
kick.
behind them insect like kicked them in the ADC, so they win, and everyone's like he finally did it after 60 minutes. He learned how to play Lee Sin.
I was thinking
Like,
that
the
was
dude's
the
just a
one where they
winner.
did
He's just a winner.
I was thinking that was one where they did a breakdown of him taking like the amount of gold he took away from the other team. By the way they do jungle, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'd have to look at. I'd have to go back and like look at the stats. I think
He's
it could
a great
be
jungler,
totally
like-
true. I mean, the dude's a winner. Like, because he just always, whatever team he's on, they just win. Like,
Hey,
it's
listen.
just how he's done.
Super big clutch game at the world stage. Medios wins. Amazing does not.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. Another one that I was looking at before because we got new orgs coming in this year. Evil Geniuses making
The prodigal son.
the old big splashes in the LCS right away. Immediately picking up Kumo,
No kidding.
Svenskeren, and Zazel. So 3 C9 players, 2 of them from the starting roster. Kumo did get playtime when Licorice was injured in the summer. So he's played a couple games, but he is still new. Doesn't count as a rookie. I think he played enough games to not be a rookie for this spring split. But leading or ending that roster with Jizuke in the mid lane and Bang in the bot lane. A very interesting team.
Are there implications for somebody not registering as a rookie, or is it just?
Yeah. So like in order to be a rookie, you have to have not played in the LCS, and I think specifically it's 4 games. Once you've played 4 games in the LCS in one season, you are no longer a
A
rookie.
season counts.
But
A
what
split.
does-
I'm sorry, a split,
what-
not a season. Sorry, a split.
What does being a rookie do?
I mean, you
What is-
you qualify
Just
for rookie of
just
the
for
year.
Stats.
Yeah, for
that's
stats.
just okay.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
So
what
like,
I was wondering.
so this year, like, I mean, people will probably still say it's his rookie year because he's actually like a starter, not like the backup that's filling in. But statistically speaking, he will not be on the list of rookies for this year.
He's a redshirt freshman.
He wasted
Yeah.
his red shirt already.
Yeah. He wasted it really well. He beat Team Liquid on his first game in the LCS, so I'd say that was pretty good. Solo killed Impact.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
he's
I mean, that team's
Korean
such a
carry. I mean, the
good
kid's
carry.
good, but
That team could be very, very good.
he also
could.
only played Jace
Could
for his 4 games. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, there's clearly
Kinda
going to be
like
some
Drake.
weaknesses, like, once he gets to the big leagues. In a world where you're going against Viper, Hooney, Broken Blade, Licorice, Impact, Hanser, like, there's a lot, North American top laners are actually really good. So,
Is Viper the first, like solo queue one trick to make it on a pro roster?
I'm
'Cause
pretty sure.
He was a
Yeah.
Riven one trick for a really long time.
Yeah, he was like super well known for like
He's-
the one trick Riven.
maybe there was, like, another one trick, but I think he's, like, the most one trick, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He like only played Riven for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It's like a long time. He like just played. And then he's just like, you know what? I'm pretty good at this game. Let me try making it. And he's like, and then he made it.
And now he survived the axe going from 2019 to 2020, which
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. I have it without counting. It looks like 60% of the players in the LCS are changing organizations compared to last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the only team that isn't almost overhauling their roster is Liquid, and they're just switching out Xmithie for Broxa. Unless there were other announcements that I didn't see for that.
Yeah.
No,
that's,
yeah, that was just
as
it.
of now. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And I think that's finalized for them. There's no
Yeah.
one else to switch.
Yeah,
We're
but,
not
I mean,
sure.
Why would they?
No,
Just
right, why
totally
would they?
anything else.
And it was not. I don't think it was said at any point if Xmithie wanted to leave versus if Team Liquid wanted to like replace him, because Xmithie was actually a free agent, and he
Yeah.
is gone. So
Well, I mean,
I don't think it matters either way. Like,
I mean, it doesn't. But I'm guessing
Right.
Liquid wanted to move on.
yeah. If I was a betting man, that's where I would put my cards at as well. Let's see. Who do we want to do next? Well, I guess we're on Xmithie, so we go to Immortals, who went over to
I don't know
France.
what it is.
They went over to France and got Soaz and Ica, both French players. Ica, we have no idea who the heck that is. I don't know who that is. I know
no
nothing
idea.
about him, so I'm going to gloss right over that one. He's
he's okay. He's
a
he's
Masters.
All right.
He's a Masters player from EU
He's
Masters. I
whatever.
know that. But I do know Altec and Hakuho. Altec has not played for a year and a half maybe, but supposedly he went and grinded Korean solo queue for a year and a half,
Oh,
and he's back. Yeah, supposedly he's gotten better, which surprises me. Usually Hakuho is accompanied by Apollo, but
usually wasn't Altec on Winter Fox?
yes, and then Gravity, and then he was on. I don't know after that.
Is he one of them?
He had a
Tristanis who
small.
jump in and die.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Is he one of those?
He had a small stint on an actual franchise team for the first like spring split, and then he hasn't played since then. I don't remember who he would have been on at that time, but
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's a wild card. I mean, we'll see how much better
he was on
FlyQuest
FlyQuest.
makes you. That's right. Yeah, before Wild Turtle, right?
Yep, he was on FlyQuest when it was like FlyQuest Yellow, and then when they went to the franchise, then it went to Wild Turtle. So, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll.
So as a
We'll
has
see.
been, I would
I'm
say.
honestly not
it's-
expecting all that much from that team.
No, I
think
imagine
they're
they'll be ninth
middle of the
place.
pack. Oh, you think so?
Ninth.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that. I think
Who's worse than them? I mean, Golden Guardians is my 10th
Yes,
place
second.
team. Like,
I
no
was
doubt
gonna
in my
say,
mind.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, absolutely. I don't know. Golden Glue though.
No, okay,
The only
listen.
thing,
Glue,
the
though.
only
Listen.
thing worse than dropping Froggen for Golden Glue is dropping literally anybody for Amazing. If
I
you
could-
put
I mean, I
Amazing
could
and Golden Glue on the
see-
same team, they will never win a game.
True. I could see Dignitas's roster just flopping the first split.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really could.
yeah.
I mean, I could
Like,
also see FlyQuest
yeah.
flopping the first split. Like, they flop pretty hard in the summer. Like, Power of Evil is like.
Maybe, I don't know.
But Pole,
Maybe.
Pole Belter, for instance, is like super consistent. Power of Evil is like not. Like, yeah, he could do really well, but he
It's
did.
so
He didn't
sad
do well
that
on
Paul Belter
CLG.
isn't on a team.
It's. I don't
telling
know.
me that that all 10 of these people are better than him. I don't know about that.
No. I agree. I think Pole Belter, like, first off, he should have a job instead of Golden Glue. And I don't know who Ica
whoever
and
this
Ryoma
Ica-
are.
Yeah.
Like maybe they are better, like, and
Like,
maybe
Jizuke's bad.
I think he had a really bad summer supposedly in Europe, so I think he's like on a dip.
I
But,
still
like-
think he's a stud though.
Like maybe like Ica's like really good. Like maybe he's like he becomes the second best mid laner. Maybe Ryoma's like the third best, and we'll all
Maybe.
sit here and be like, oh, that's why Pole Belter doesn't have a team. Like that makes a lot of
Well,
sense.
I'm still looking at this and I'm like, I still would put Pole Belter like 5th at worst.
Right.
I
So
think.
and he's an NA player, so like I don't know. Also, no one wanted him on an academy team. Like why don't you just like
Well,
like why doesn't
he could have said no to academy stuff.
that's
I don't
true.
know.
I think
could've.
that's
I
his.
don't know
I
why
think
he
that's his
would.
fault then. Like
That would be his fault.
I can't remember who. I think it was Loco Doco. I think he tweeted that. He was like, well, why don't you just? Because he said it with like Someday. Like Someday gets benched, so like what does he do? He doesn't like troll an academy. Like they win academy worlds. Like he just stomps everybody. Like obviously it's Someday, and obviously he's gonna get a team. But like just like say with Pole Belter, like fine if you're that good, just go kick the crap out of academy. Be the best
But,
mid
I
laner
mean,
in it, so that
but
way
we don't know.
when the next
I don't
split
know.
comes, you're just like, hey, I'm here. Raise your hand, and if Golden Glue flops, then some team, Golden Gardens, is like, fine, we'll take Pole Belter. Like he'll be better than what this was, or whatever the situation
Yeah.
is.
And,
So-
and maybe it's just things that they haven't filled yet, and the offers
Right.
haven't come out, or all that stuff too. But
So Pole Belter is actually contracted with FlyQuest through 2020.
so he's just
He's not on a
stuck.
roster, but he's on contract with FlyQuest.
Well, did they buy
They
him out?
signed FlyQuest has a new academy mid laner with Triple, so they're probably just looking to trade him to somebody, and nobody's offering for him.
Right. Well, he's allowed to explore opportunities. They're just
Right.
keeping him on. So it's not like he's not on an organization.
But the organization that he goes to would probably have to buy out his contract.
Right.
Probably.
He did say he'd take a pay cut, but the problem is though is that like that has nothing to do with the like buying him out. Like they still have like even if he's like I'll take a pay cut, another org still has to buy full price for him and then pay him money. So FlyQuest could be being a pain in the butt with it, like with their price tag.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe if he goes to Academy, maybe C9 Academy.
C9 Academy has what's his face, Palafox or whatever.
Oh,
It's
really?
called, yeah. Supposedly he's really good. He was like in the
he is.
he was in the scouting grounds.
Yep. No, I remember him. Yeah, he was solid.
C9 Academy's coach is Rainover?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. They got Rainover last summer as a strategic coach. Now they promoted him to the academy coach.
Dude,
And Westrice is now the strategic.
Blaze Olive is not on TSM Academy anymore. That makes me so sad.
Yeah, they dropped him for somebody. I saw that. He was really good.
Dude, Blaze Olive's a
Evolved.
stud.
Oh, Cat Evolved is who they picked up.
Oh, well, yeah, that's my boy too.
There's another one trick.
A Blaze, I think, did he go to another team? I don't remember.
Yeah, he went to Golden Card. So he's gonna be starting in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's good though. Like that's good for him because like he's never gonna start over Bjergsen,
True.
which
No,
is
that's
probably
true.
okay.
That's
Which
true.
honestly is probably why he probably left. Like Bjergsen got equity
maybe.
and was
Like,
like
he's
definitely
good.
guaranteed to always be there. So Blaze was probably like, dude, I'm out. Like there's no way I ever play
Well,
in this
I don't
anymore.
know. Yeah, that's probably true. And Golden, he's gonna start at some point.
Probably.
Olive got one look. Like he got invited to the TSM house or whatever, and then he got one look at the Daddy Beardson beard. And he was like, I'm out.
Well, he was actually super pumped because like he's one of my go-to streams when he's on. So because he's like super educational and he's just a funny guy.
You mean old Night Blue?
Yeah, or just sneaky 2.0. Sidebar. I remember
God.
Sneaky dropped 20K on him for a host, and some people were like, it was like everyone's just spamming Sneaky. Is that we're still watching Sneaky the whole time? It was kind of funny. They looked old, dumb, similar at that time.
Oh, go ahead.
But I think he's has good. If Golden Blue underperforms, I don't think there's really much of a difference between those two players.
Or if Golden Glue hits par for Golden Glue, Olive might be starting.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how it goes.
Week 4, week 5.
Par for the course.
I'd be sinning if I didn't talk about my favorite team here. And you mentioned Sneaky or whatever, but I do think it's a good talking point because Sneaky, the most tenured player in all of League of Legends, I believe, esports.
Yes.
And technically, he is still contracted with Cloud9.
Right.
He was allowed. C9 basically said that he can do whatever he wants. He can play in academy, and fight for a spot. He can retire as a streamer. They can trade him, whatever he wants to do, and nobody has said what they're doing yet. So it's still I mean,
He wants there's no way
I'm
he'll
happy.
go and fight
Okay, I'm
there.
happy that they got rid of him. I'm happy that C9 moved on from him. But I think he's in the same situation as Pole Belter. You're like, where do they go with him? It's sure there's no guaranteed spot, but there are definitely positions where it's you probably could you could have used Sneaky here. It would have been better.
But I mean, what team ADCs though in NA there's not that big of a gap.
Right. It's double lift and trash.
not.
I mean, no, you're right.
I mean,
I would say, but he's the top. He's the top of that gap. I mean, he's the top of that not big gap, but
yeah. I mean, Dignitas could, I guess.
yeah,
but they're not
Dignitas
going
could
to
have, but
sign
they
up.
they risked it.
I mean, he's not going to CLG. He's not. I mean, obviously not going to Cloud9. 100 Thieves isn't. They're not getting rid of Cody. They just signed Cody.
Right? Are you gonna get rid of? I mean, you're gonna get rid of Alltech, Wild Turtle,
FlyQuest brand.
No, right, but that's me reaching. It's those are your two situations.
I think there's less landing spots, possible landing spots for him than there was for Pole Belter.
That's true.
I also think he could just retire from professional League
absolutely.
of Legends. Obviously he can. I think he's probably going to.
The most adorable titty streamer of all time.
Unbelievably so. Uncomfortably
Yeah.
so. Put it that way.
I think he's waited too long to want another shot or to go to another team. To say yes, I want to play, so let me go play for another team, kind of a thing. So he's probably either A, gonna fight for the spot, or B, retire. I think he should just retire. I think he had a good career, and it's just call it. I know he likes to say always like that his streaming and his cosplay doesn't get in the way of League, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like you gotta give 110% nowadays.
There has to be a level of want to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially when you're a professional player in anything. Because there's another guy sitting right next to you that has more want to than you do. And at some point, he's going to pass you, even if you are much better. If your heart's not in it,
Right.
step away.
And he's like the number one like LCS player that actually can retire like and have something to do. Like any other player's like, yeah, I'm gonna retire and I'll stream and like I'll get some followers and it's whatever. Like he already has it. Like he's already the number one like streamer for like League of Legends. You know, I mean, other than or like for the player LCS players. You know, Double Lift obviously has a high count. And Bjergsen, you know, when he streams, but like Sneaky,
I wish he just streamed more.
Sneaky streams always and always has a high number, you know.
Yeah.
And if he was a dedicated streamer, like I'm sure he would get more consistent followers even as well. So like,
what if he goes to EU, dude?
that would be. I mean, that'd be like the first NA ADC that like did that. I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. It wouldn't happen, but
there's no way he's moving.
Right.
But
no, there's no way.
That's
pretty much it.
One last team.
Go ahead. Yeah, we can do one more.
I just want thoughts on the Dardock, on TSM.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I was going to talk about TSM.
Yeah, if it works,
it's easy to miss that one. You got to scroll down one to see TSM.
Yeah.
I watched this or that with Kobe and Cap today, and they asked this question. They said, "What's more likely, that Dardock, or that TSM breaks Dardock, or Dardock breaks TSM?" And Kobe said,
"Such a good question, though."
Kobe said, "In the history of the LCS, TSM has had 9 different junglers, and Dardock has played for 6 different teams." And he says that Dardock will fix TSM. Captain Flowers said, "Until Dardock plays for every single team, I will not lose faith that he can change." And he also said that Dardock will fix TSM. So he's got 4 teams to go, and then he's in all of them. But
so where's your way too early placement for TSM end of spring split? Fourth place?
Second.
Yeah, second. I
think second is like
way too early placement is me saying they get second because like if their bot lane does well, if Broken Blade doesn't look like an idiot, like if Dardock is an award and Bjergsen pulls his head out of his ass, like it all works out really well. You know what I mean? Like on paper, it all works out. There's a lot of rosters here.
On paper, it was good.
There's a lot of rosters actually that on paper they could all work out, and I could say that they get second. Like, you know, and TSM's one of them.
I think he's such a good personality for the organization, personally. Because let's be real, like TSM's like TSM, you know. There's always that pressure there.
Yeah.
And I really feel like we got like the junglers we have personality wise aren't like I don't want to like meme, but I'm going to like alpha chads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you need a certain level of arrogance like for TSM with like how much they get bashed by the fans and stuff.
Well, TSM as an organization has never been a super like hyphy team.
Yeah.
In the entire even when they were, TSM Snapdragon, like Reggie was their most hyped player and everyone hated him.
Yeah,
he owned the team.
Yeah, he was the villain.
The jungler for SKT this year, was his name Clid? I think it was Clid.
No, wasn't it a mid laner? Wasn't it like another mid laner?
Chovy was a mid laner.
Oh, maybe it was Clid then.
Yeah, I think it was Clid. So, suppose there was an interview when Clid joined SKT, because Clid is like the best jungler in Korea, when he joined, and somebody was like, "Oh, like so how exciting is it to play with Faker or whatever?" Like this and that, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." He's like, "I was just wondering like what Faker felt like playing with me or whatever." Like and
like classic.
Right. But like, obviously it's like, "Oh, good one," whatever. Like it's Faker and you're the best jungler. You know, personalities clash, but like. I guess if you want to look at it on TSM's perspective, it's like you always have like Bjergsen, and it's always these like young people coming in like playing with Bjergsen, and like if there's any stubborn asshole who could look at Bjergsen and say like, "Nah, dude,"
let's not put it on Bjergsen. I think it's
I'm not putting it on Bjergsen, but I'm using Bjergsen as just like a stepping point here. But like you could say TSM, like if anyone's gonna like look at anybody and say like, "Nah, dude," like I'm not doing that. Like you know what I mean? Like if there's someone that can't break. It's Dardock.
Yeah.
If they break Dardock,
that's why I think
if Dardock breaks, TSM will never ever find a jungler ever that will
No, no,
not
that won't work.
break.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm with you 100%. I think Dart he'll I think Dardoch will be what's his name? The guy who just didn't work out, like rookie of the year.
Acadian,
No, the Nidalee player.
Oh,
Mike Young.
Mike Young.
I think
Mike Young.
he'll be what
Yes.
Mike Young was supposed to be. Mike Young was just like not good at standing up for himself.
So
Yeah.
really,
Or Dardoch
quickly,
will be.
really quickly. I know
Yeah,
a
go
lot
for
of
it.
it's. You mentioned Klid, so I looked at where he's at now. He's playing for Gen G. I think Gen G might be my favorite to win Korea. Their roster is I don't know who Rascal is,
man.
but then they've got Klid, BDD, Ruler, and Life.
Damn.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's a really good team. All right, we do got to move on though because we went way over time on that.
Yeah, I was about to say,
That's all
we
right
gotta
though.
Do it.
That's
We
all
gotta
right.
Do it.
So we're gonna talk about some Summoner's Rift changes, stuff like that. We haven't done our show in a couple
Another
weeks.
Hour.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
but so
it's only been about a month.
we've handpicked a couple things to go through. So we'll start with Senna because we talked about her before she was released. So we played some PvE games and whatnot. But now that she's been out for a couple weeks, how do we feeling? In support and ADC role specifically. So we'll start with what she's supposed to be in. Riot's Eyes support. How does that feel for those of you who played as her or with her?
Go for it.
I feel like she's strong but has weaknesses. But if you just pick the wrong champion into her, like you just can't. You
You're
almost
done for.
can't win.
Right.
Yeah. But if you pick the right champion into her, you just win. So it's kind of like rock paper scissors and champ select, and
Yeah.
I don't like that. So I think them tuning her down opens up.
Oh, really?
Well, she's like, she's
I
an
love
ADC. I mean, she is an ADC, so it's like that logic is like if Thresh hooks her, she's dead.
Yeah,
I don't
think
if
she should be
Braum
blind
gets
picked.
hooked, he can jump out. Alistar, you're like those are obviously tankier, but even like enchanters have like CC, which I guess she does too with her root, but she doesn't have any mobility other than her like
Yeah.
camouflage. That's not really camouflage because you can see where she is still. You can see her moving,
Right.
but
I think that she should not be blind pickable.
oh, I agree,
If
100%.
she's blind pickable, then nerf that shit.
Yeah, if she's first pick in pro play, that's not good.
Like it doesn't have to be first pick. Just if you can just like take her into like when you don't see what their other support is, the other team's support is, I think
Yeah.
that's bad. Like because you just I mean, we can get into this a little bit, but she just does so much damage too for just like no reason.
Yeah.
Like there's like no items. Her passive's just dumb overloaded. So I actually like the whole rock paper scissors aspect of it. I think that if you see a Senna, I think you should be able to like, oh, I can pick this champion and just absolutely run her over, and I think that's okay.
I think that's fine. I guess my point was I didn't like the idea that if I picked a champion and then I saw you pick Senna and then I just go, oh well, we've lost the
Right.
game.
I do agree
That
with
part I don't like.
Yeah, I don't think she should have like I think she has too many good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's kind of like
Yeah.
picking a full engage comp and then they last pick Janna and you're like, damn it. Like,
Yeah.
man. You like, obviously it's like I could have banned this thing. We could have worked around it, but you're just like,
Yeah.
well,
Like, you
I guess
can.
we'll just not play this game because we'll never do anything.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I see what you're saying now though, but I agree with that to like a point. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I'll
Okay,
leave it at that.
I'll take it. Also, fun fact: her auto attacks are not projectiles. Yasuo Windwall does not stop her auto attacks.
Wait, actually,
I didn't know if any of you guys.
I
knew
knew
that.
this.
I did not
knew,
know
like, the
that at
second
all.
One,
That's
I knew like
weird.
the second one where she wasn't pulling her, or at least she like pulls her passive out of someone. I knew that wasn't, but the first one even that's just
Her auto attacks are not a projectile. How does that even work? How's that a thing?
because
Oh,
she
they're just
points
trying to
at
kill
somebody
Yasuo bot
and then their
lane.
body pops essentially, and then the second one is a little bit more. But
Weird.
I've seen her auto attack through Yasuo walls.
I
mean, it makes
would
sense.
believe you.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm not against that logic, but
Yeah,
Right.
let's just gut Yasuo bot lane, please.
yeah.
I'm
So
okay
what about
with
as an
Yasuo
ADC?
wars.
Ah, fuck that. Sorry.
I've
Oh boy.
It's just like, can we talk about like the first of all, God bless these nerfs coming through.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if we want.
Yeah,
but
you read the
it's-
nerfs off.
It's
Yeah.
so overloaded right now as it is. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You want me to run through those nerfs?
Yeah, go
or-
ahead. Just the basics.
Anybody have it up? I don't have it up right
Oh,
now.
I got
So she gets 10 less health per level. She doesn't get as many soul drops on minions that she kills, which is actually a really big nerf for her.
The best change.
That's the best change. Like
the best change.
champions that can stack. Like I'm fine with stacking champions in the game. I love Nasus. I love Eager. But like you don't get to stack fast. Like if you're stacking, that means you're late in the game is when the stacking is done. Not like 15 minutes into the game and you've increased your range 2 or 3 times. Like come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Her
That's what's
Q
insane.
damage ticked down by 10 at all ranks, and the bonus AD ratio ticked down by 0.1, so it's down to 0.4. The root duration early got lowered, but then her ult got the damage AP ratio and the shield AP ratio both ticked up by 0.1. So they're really pushing you should build AP support items on her and players as support. But I think this is coming from a tweet from Mark Yetter, and he said in the tweet that they're focused on nerfing ADC Senna more than support.
Which is good.
It actually ends up just being a buff for the support because you're more rewarded for using your ult, building support items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever will build that API. I'd have to math it out, how that all works out.
I was building Redemption, but I was playing support, so.
Yeah. Like right now, I think I just think that change is awesome. That how like the ones that she kills, she gets less of a chance of it going through. I think that's like such a good change. Because
Like
that's like
by
that's
a
what made
lot
it-
too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's not like a little bit.
So
it's like-
basically, when she just is a support, she
4%.
still gets the same amount of souls because the ADC is killing them instead of her.
Yeah, and so she because that's like what was so just ridiculous about her as ADC is like just how many free stats she gets as from their passive. Like
Yeah.
what she gets attack range, which is ridiculous in itself. Like if she's gonna get attack range, why start her off at 600, start her off at 550?
Right. She should like
it-
match Lucian's like attack range or something. Like she should.
Yeah.
be lower
Like she
and
already
work up.
she already outranges most lanes. She already you know what I mean? Like
Right.
but anyways, but she gets attack range, she gets crit chance, she gets life steal. She does like percent health. She auto attacks twice. Like it's just such a ridiculous passive that just scales infinitely that make it so she doesn't also get the most gold in the game.
If
Something's
I
got to
could-
give.
If I can insert my own agenda here, because they released
Always.
a champion that has basically a quest passive, I want Quest Cassiopeia back. I want that
What's that
passive back. For I think a year, her passive was that hitting people with your poison abilities, not your poison fang, but like your Q and your W, would give you stacks on your passive, and at certain stacks you would get
Oh
your Q
yeah.
now gives you mana back, your Q gives you health back.
But Twitch and Singed would also proc the like passive.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, if they were
Probably
affected by
will.
their poison and she like twin fanged them, she would get stacks for it. I
I'm fine with
remember that. Yeah.
I want it back. I give me Quest Cassiopeia back, and I'll never play another champion. That's not true, but I want to play.
God, that was fun. I forgot about that. That was so much
I
fun.
did
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a good time. It was like 300 stacks was the cap. You watch
Yeah, it was something like that.
you'd watch the pro scene or whatever, and they'd be like 300
Yeah.
stacks, and they'd immediately like go fight a Baron because like she would just like pop off. She got like what 88? It was like 80 or 70 AP. She got
I think she got percent AP because
Yeah.
you could go
Yeah.
cap and you get like 1500 AP on her at the end.
Yeah.
Of the day.
Oh,
Or,
it was stupid.
I remember her older abilities too. You could just play her as jungle, and her clear speed is just like disgusting. It's just
So that's what I want
fast.
back
Good times.
because we just released a champion that has a class.
Right.
Speaking of just releasing champions,
Aphelios. I think that's right. Aphelios? Aphelios? I think it's Aphelios.
I think it's Aphelios.
We're not gonna
So
spend a lot of time on this guy. I
So
mean,
pumped.
I don't have his stuff up here, and I don't really want to read through it, to be honest with you, because
This would
there's a
be
lot to
a
go
2-hour
through.
podcast.
Yeah,
We
there's
We have a
Long
thesis
teams,
you have to
and
go
everyone
through.
yeah. If you're listening at home, I recommend attempting to read it yourself 5 or 6 times. It's a lot. But what do we think? Quick rundown, he's got an ultimate that is like a little bomb that explodes, but primarily it's that he switches weapons. Like, that's basically his kit, is that he switches weapons that changes his auto attacks. He's got a flamethrower, sniper, bazooka, a short range fast one, and something else I'm missing. But one that like makes a turret. Yeah, a sustained one. There's one that makes a turret.
Yeah, that can scale attack speed with how close it is. Yeah, so I spent a good amount of time on a practice tool with him.
I was going to say, this is the champion that justifies the practice tool to anybody that didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah, and you can do some cool shit. Sorry. You can. There's all, like, the combos you can, like, it's going to be hard to, like, play him optimally, like, to say the least. But I feel like anytime you pull anything off, you're going to feel like such a god. Like, I think like getting good at him is gonna be just so rewarding, and I hope that he's not overtuned. I hope that he's I'm sure he will.
Yeah, he will be.
Well, I just like the last thing I want is it like the whole Rise effect where he's Garbo and solo queue, but pick ban and professional.
That's the problem with him though, is that like you don't know if he's broken or not. Like, I guess they'll know like right away, like a little bit, because like nobody's gonna know how to play this guy. Like, nobody. Yeah. But, like, obviously, like, someone's going to figure it out, and then, like, he's going to be nerfed.
Well,
and then everyone's going to figure out how to play him, and then he's going to be like, you know, like, they'll be like, he's so weak, buff him. They'll buff him. They'll figure out how to play him. And then he's going to be, like, stupid OP, and then they're going to, like, nerf him.
I don't even think, like, that's going to be, like, that big of an issue, though, because of how his, like, ammo thing works. Like, you can't just, like, abuse one weapon.
Right.
Like, for a period of time, you can when it comes out, and you can like, oh, this is gonna be like really good in this lane or whatnot. But like, he's like,
well, you basically need to like use a crappy weapon to farm, but then like switch to the good weapon to like harass. But from what I can tell, there's not really a bad weapon. Mm-hmm. Like, I was watching I'm a Cutie Pie play, and every time he used a weapon, like in a team fight, he was like,
talking about.
Right, there's scenarios and situations, but like every time he used a different weapon in a team fight, he was always like, wait a second, like, no, this is the the broken weapon. Like, wait a second, like that, like he would like do crazy damage, or he would like 1v2, and he'd be like, wait a second, like this is the one. Like, wait, which one do I want now? He just, you know, you get that reaction of just like, I don't get it. Like, there's so many weapons that are all so good that it's like. Which I think is a great thing for him, as long as they keep all of his weapons like basically balanced. You know, like it'd just suck if you were like, oh, it's the flamethrower one. Like, I'm just gonna like go farm minions with it so I can get it to the bottom of my list, so I don't have to team fight with it, kind of a thing.
It's got its every single one's kind of got its pluses and minuses. I think his laning phase isn't going to be that good. He's for most of his stuff is pretty short ranged. I mean, like, one of them, it's like, to be effective, you have to be like super short range.
That one's actually kind of ridiculous because it can hit turrets. It's so fun to use.
Yeah. It's fun.
It can what? It can hit turrets.
That one can hit turrets.
Yeah, he can get just like dumb attack speed level 1 with that weapon.
And if you stand right next to somebody, it's the one that your auto attack is faster based on proximity to your target. So when you're standing right next to somebody, it's like a machine gun just shredding a turret.
Yeah.
So, like, is it basically melee range, or is it a bit, like, farther than that?
I mean, the closer you get, the faster you shoot. So if you're at a turret, you're trying to get damage in, you just stand right next to the turret. And that's
gotcha. So there's no minimum range to that. It's literally, like, the closer you are.
It's travel speed. Yes. It's travel speed on when the auto attack returns back to you.
Oh, it's like a boomerang. It's like the boomerang one. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But I think, I don't know. I think he's going to be bad on release.
Oh, yeah.
People are going to know what to do with them. I think they can tune them. I think they can actually, like, balance them, like, pretty well. But it's going to be fun figuring out what he can do, and you're going to see a bunch of, like, montages on.
Been waiting a long time for Certainty to design an AD carry for me.
He wanted to put 25 ability, or 25 weapons on the champion.
Yeah, started with 25.
You need to calm down.
Yeah. Guy's a madman.
I just need him to not be banned, but he's gonna be for like
yeah. Well, he'll be banned because no one knows how to play him. People will just be like, I don't want him on my team.
Yeah. Or they don't want to play against him because they have no idea what he does either. So
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited for him. I'm gonna make him a mid laner just to watch.
Oh my god.
We'll move on from him. Unless, did you have something, Eli?
I was just gonna say that I think the last champion to get released perfectly balanced was Lucian, and everyone was like, he's really weak.
Did Thresh
I
come
mean,
out? Oh no, Thresh did not come out balanced, but he's
No.
like, he was balanced really well.
no, I don't even think Lucian was like that balanced.
Everyone thought he
Lucian
was
came
really
out. No, Lucian came out. Everyone said he was hot garbage,
weak. Yeah.
No, then they hot
and he
fixed
was. Yeah, he was. Then he was super OP.
him. Yeah, the whole E removing slows.
Yeah, good
Well,
times.
that part was dumb.
Yeah,
Good times.
but sometimes I wish they'd bring it back.
Okay, so Diana had some, just actually not even that big of a change really, just like an ability swap,
Yeah,
with like
it's
a little rework in it. But W or E and Ultimate switched, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
E and W switched. But
E and
her E and R. But now her new Ultimate, her old E, pulls people in, but it does like way more damage now. The
Well,
more
it didn't
people
do
you
any
pull
damage
in, right?
It didn't do
didn't do
any
any.
damage before.
Yeah, and it's based on how many she pulls in, I believe.
No, well, I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I think it's just like as long as she hits a champion, what happens happens.
Okay.
Which is an orbital shot from the moon, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it, but
It feels good.
as far as the changes go, I believe they've been like accepted very well by like the community. I think everyone's like
Oh,
really
it's so
excited,
fun.
and it's
Yeah.
been going really well.
Yeah.
Based
it's,
on what I've seen, this feels like what Diana probably should have been to begin with, but she was
Yeah.
designed not as like a team fight brawler. She was designed as an assassin.
Where now she's being basically a dive bruiser.
Yeah. That can one shot.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, like
Uh,
she could
bruisers
dive,
never
like
work.
she could,
She's an assassin.
Right.
AP bruisers are assassins. That's
right. Well, she dives in, one shots the ADC, but then she can like pull like the team in to give herself some time to not like die herself, to get the
she
team to
plays-
follow up.
Yeah. No, she plays more or less the same.
So, the
it's
wording
just
on her
that
alt.
she can do stuff in lane versus before she couldn't.
Yes. The wording on her alt reveals and draws in all nearby enemies and slows them by 40 to 60% for 2 seconds. If she pulls in one or more enemy champions, the moonlight crashes down onto her after 1 second, dealing 200 to 400 plus 60% AP magic damage in an area around her, increased by 35 to 85 plus 15% AP for each target beyond the first pulled.
Okay. So it is that. All right.
So diving into team fights
Is good.
is good. I mean, maybe not necessarily good, but she gets a benefit from it.
Yeah. I can see them removing that if she ends up being too strong. That might be the first thing to go.
I think
Yeah.
she just joined the dunk squad is what happened.
Well, the meta's has favored squishies for a long time. Like tanks have been pretty non-existent, so she can pull
I think
5.
coming back. Sidebar.
Right. But I mean, if she could pull 5 bruisers and squishies, ADCs, etc. Like she'll do a lot of damage until until Maokai and Sejuani are the ones that she's pulling in. Like she'll, just run
And
train on everybody.
her abilities look so goddamn pretty now.
Yeah.
Yes.
They look so good. Like
Did they all get changed?
Her passive third auto attack got changed. Where underneath her, it's more clear. It's like her
Okay.
symbol that pops up underneath her. Her Q looks cleaner. It looks sharper. W looks better. She just looks cleaner, a sharper look with all I feel like before it was kind of her abilities were kind of fuzzy-ish in comparison. I don't know how to explain it, but everything just looks a lot cleaner. So I'm pumped. That was my main girl back in season 2. So
That was the champion that was released in League of Legends when I started. She was the champ. She was the client screen was Diana.
Yeah. I didn't think about this, but they lined up the Diana rework with Aphelios coming out. Diana,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Moon, which is Aphelios' sister.
yeah, they're all aboard. All aboard the
This
moon
isn't coming
train.
with an event, is it? Is it just the releases?
No, the
Event
the
is
event is Dawnbringer and Nightbringer event that's coming.
Oh.
They're like Riven Yasuo where you choose a
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
But now this year it's more champions like Lee Sin and Soraka and I don't know some other stuff. I don't remember the skins off the top of my head.
I'm pumped for both of them. Absolutely thrilled.
last we don't have any questions, it looks like, so we'll just ride it out here with just preseason as a whole. How do we feel so far with preseason? How, we've all played a couple games, quite a few games. I guess on my portion of it, I've gotten an excessive amount of Cloud Drake maps,
Yes.
and that is tilting me. I want more different maps. I swear to God, it has to be bugged or something, because I literally have had like 15 Cloud Drakes and then like 5 other ones.
I don't think I've gotten. No, never mind. I've gotten a good variety. I was about to say I don't remember. I don't really remember many Infernals, but I think the least amount I've seen is Infernals.
Yeah, same.
I think the least one that I've seen has been Ocean Drakes.
Oh, I see Oceans every other game.
Yeah.
For your map change?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
maybe it is a good balance. We're just catching all
it could
kind of
be.
our own categories. We should play together more. That's what should happen.
Yeah, there we go.
Get a little mix.
We'll play
That's-
with each other in different combinations, so we get to experience
Yes.
the different dragons. Coobs can
Teach you guys
experience
the
clouds
rest of
while I get the ocean. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, you go.
I think as a general feeling, a lot of people were looking at it and saying, well, if this happens and then you get this map, this champion's OP, this. We mentioned it when we talked about this before. It's going to happen so rarely that it's not really a balance issue. And I agree with that. I saw a full tank Malphite get a Mountain Drake Soul, and I think he
That's
had
it.
1,700 armor.
Yeah.
That's going to happen so unbelievably rarely that I don't think it's
Yeah.
a balance issue. But as a side note, his Iceborne Gauntlet proc was literally the size of the lane.
Because the thing with that is not only do you have to pick Malphite, you
Yes.
also have to not get any dragons until Mountain spawns. Then you have to get
Correct.
all of the dragons. Like,
Yes.
statistically speaking, that's a pretty, like, far
You
out
should
there
win that.
scenario.
I'm okay with ridiculous stuff like that.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, like if I'm in that like it's like back in the day when like Cloud Drake gave movement speed, like the enemy team picked Hecarim and they got 3 Cloud Drakes. Like that's probably happened twice, 3 times ever for me. Like and
Right.
they had a Sivir and they had a Shirelias. You know what I mean? It's like that. But the time it happened, like yeah, you got smacked, but like I knew that it was never gonna happen again.
Right. I still think there should be some very small, very minor objective in the alcove, like maybe you pick up a clairvoyance orb or something. So
I
you can
agree.
scout somewhere.
Or
like, pick
minions
up
that
a
push
health-
the wave.
Yeah, I was gonna just say Heroes of the Storm concept. Maybe like a health pack. Maybe not. I wouldn't say a health pack because I think that would break some sustain stuff. But
Yeah,
I like
could
that
be-
idea though, Eli. I like that like it's like a blue ward, and you pick it up, and
Yeah.
your trinket turns into a blue ward instantly, and you can like ward like river or like their bush or something like that. That'd be really cool. At least it'd give you something to fight for. Because I agree. I feel like I never have to go there. Even like when
Right.
I'm running away from champions. Like obviously I've played League of Legends for so long. I've never gone down there. So like I'm instinctively never going to. But I just do it for the memes at this point.
every time I have not seen somebody go into the alcove without somebody else yelling alcove.
Yeah.
Which makes it hype.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
video I
For
saw
me-
of like a Mundo like the whole enemy team was like running and Mundo just like slips into the alcove and starts
Yeah.
backing and the rest of the team like dies and he gets out. It's like I guess like that guy had fun with it, I guess. So good job, but
Yeah. Yeah. So top lane is a failed whatever they were trying to do. Top lane feels even more like an island.
It
Rift
depends on
Herald
how you look
is
at
awful.
it. Yeah, Rift Herald's bad. I think Rift
Rift
Herald needs to be a
Herald's-
bit tankier.
It needs to be just better. If you're trying to,
Yeah.
if you're trying to like have top lane have more of an influence, you got to make Rift Herald give some kind of like early game advantage that Dragon gives late.
I'm here
You
for
have to.
anarchy. Let's go ahead and randomize whether Rift Herald spawns top or bottom and Dragon spawns top or bottom.
That would I actually am not totally against that.
make things
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of early game lanes. You could never pick like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
Roaming supports would be like the absolute meta.
Yeah. Also,
Rakan,
supports are
Alistar building
ridiculous right now.
Mobies right away. Oh yeah, supports by the way
Supports are
dictate
insane.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
If your support like is any good, you're gonna win the game.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous how you can. Well, there's a LL Stylish, the Z1
Yep.
trick.
Yep.
He's got 1v1 by a support
The
like
Leona.
Leona. Like that shouldn't happen. I don't know.
It's a good
Sports
meta.
are saying ADCs need a little more XP.
I need a hair.
They need to change
You know
that
what
just a
though? I
touch.
love the Storm Razor changes though. Like actually, I've been
Yeah.
playing Jin again, and he feels real good, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like when Jin's good, I'm happy. So, it,
I unfortunately still think the bot lane that gets ahead wins. So, which
yeah.
I'd hate that that's like the thing. That's like just how games
Well,
go.
it's kind of like a snowball effect. Like it's
Yeah.
like the jungler that like gets dragon, or like the team that gets dragon, which means like the jungler that like gets dragon, and the bot lane that like gets ahead helps get the dragon, which helps you win bot lane harder, which helps you get like the next dragon,
Yeah.
which then helps you get the soul, which then you win the game. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
a better bot. It's a better bot lane wins meta.
yeah.
Which I don't like. And more so, it's like the better support wins because the support's the one that's actually doing that laning.
Yeah.
Or jungler.
No, 100%.
But
It's
like
the support.
whatever ADC benefits more, like it's so hard to come back now with those XP. Like you miss a wave and it's like way more drastic than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like even in mid lane, like it hurts to roam. Like I don't want to roam in mid lane right now because I go roam, I like get a kill, but maybe I miss a wave or something. And before it's like, yeah, that's all right. But now all of a sudden that person's level 8 and I'm still level 6. Like
It's funny you say that because on the enemy team, all 5 players have no problems roaming bot and missing as much XP as possible. They're all very much okay with it. So.
And then if you hit tab, they're actually ahead of level.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird. I don't know how they're doing it, but we got to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. Well, unless they're stomping. Like if they're already stomping the enemy team, then yeah, that makes sense. But if it's like an even lane and you roam bot, and if it it's more punishing to roam if it doesn't work. And even if it does work, it might not always be worth it. Which I think is dumb. But it is what it is. I think they'll make some changes here, but we'll see.
Well, that does it for the end of the show. We're just over an hour here. Remember, for those of you that are watching, be sure to follow us here on Twitch so you get notified every time that we go live. Also, follow us on Twitter at Talk of the Rift. I am Logan with Eli and Coobs. And don't forget to send us your questions for the Q&A that we do at the end. And we will see you guys next time.